So although ASA has not been the most popular or, very well going release, there is still a lot to like about this game. And by a lot to like, personally for me, there's only really one main huge thing to like about this game, and that is the general modding community of ASA and the really cool inventive mods that are coming to ASA, and the fact that with these new graphics they'll reimagine all of that. I know I kind of sound like I'm a marketer for Ark now, like, oh yeah, reimagine graphics, but it really does bring some of these mods to life and make them look so cool and epic, and it's just a shame that ASA is an optimized mess and it really does not perform well. On consoles though, it's actually pretty decent, apart from some bugs which are hugely affecting people's playing. But we're not going to talk about any of the negatives today. We're simply just going to talk about all of the mods that ASA has to offer, and you're just going to see the B-roll. This is every single ASA mod showcase that Wildcard has put out, so you're going to see every single mod showcase that Wildcard has put out at the 7th of February is when I'm recording this. To date, these are all the mods that are in the game, and it's just so exciting to see everything in ASA, and I really hope that you feel the same as well, as you're probably seeing when you're looking through all of these. There are just so many inventive ideas, and although, there's some really, maybe you could say, simple ideas, they really do come to life. And actually, I quite like this No Untamables mod. I know it's already gone because these things go so quickly, but wouldn't it feel nice to tame every creature? And obviously Super Spyglass, which is going to be so useful. Death Recovery mod is a personal favourite of mine, and I pretty much always have it on when I'm playing. If you don't know what it does, essentially it's Death Recovery, so you just press it and then you get all your stuff back, and it's actually really helpful when the game just bugs out, and then boom, there you go, all your stuff is gone and you can't get it back. Also loving these new boats as well, and those ferries with those ferries going along as well, and it's really cool to see people's ideas expand on these mods. And what do you actually think of these ideas? Because I don't just want to just rant on about talking about all these mods and just simply how great everyone in the community's ideas are, but I want to talk also just about what you think of these mods, and do you think this is actually going to be the saviour for ASA? And also, do you think mods should be paid as well? Because yes, a lot of work just going to these mods, but are people actually going to play them if people pay for them? I know people's opinions are very different. Personally, I'm a bit unsure, and I wouldn't really pay any money for a mod unless it was like really, really top tier. And although these are full of great ideas, I probably wouldn't be paying for too many of them, as they are just quite simple ideas. But if it really is like a new map, new expansion, it makes a lot more sense to me. But still, the kind of official custom arcs, as I think they're labelled, they're still free, and obviously they were originally mods, or some of them were, and some of them were Wildcard built, and then they're added into the game. They are obviously not paid for, so I don't really know, and I don't really feel like Wildcard is in a state of, not allowing people, but asking people to spend money for mods, considering just how much money they're already asking for. They're like, oh yeah, ASA is going to be free, but now, you can get this extra content as well. It's not like they're really taking away any content from us, but it still feels like just a little bit annoying that they're going through all of that as well. It doesn't fit right with me, because I'm not hugely trusting in snail games. Also, this Axeman chibi, it's really a good one. I'm very much a fan of Axeman, actually. Have you ever watched an Axeman video? I'm sure most of you probably have. He is quite a popular Ark YouTuber. Really do like Axeman, and it's nice to see all the YouTuber chibis being added into the game, as it's always a nice part of their Let's Plays when they have the little version of themselves next to them. It really does make sense. And also, just again, coming back to the look of these things, the modding community in just normal Ark was really, really great, but it seems like there's just the ideas that are coming to ASA are just so much bigger and wider than like we've ever seen before, and so much more imaginative, because you would have never thought to see any of this in normal Ark. And there's so many inventive, creative Unreal Engine 4 mods out there, but I'm not sure if this is actually just because modding has become easier. At least I've been told it is a lot easier to do in Unreal Engine 5, so now people are able to put out their incredible ideas into the community, or if it's just that people are really lively in the modding community for this game. And that's kind of what I think is really saving this thing, And also, when looking to the winter event, which I know it's already finished now, at least I'm pretty sure it has. It's in February, it must have. What am I even thinking about? This thing was really popular with me. Not really too sure about the implementation because it kind of acted like a mod. I prefer it just kind of taking over the whole game in terms of that. And, you know, maybe that's not what you want, so, you know, you're not going to do that. But personally, it was a really nice, action-packed Winter Wonderland, and it was very successful, and it did very well in my eyes. I was impressed with it. Also, SOTF did come out as well, which was a really great thing, because I was in need of playing some more SOTF. Still a little bit of an intensive nightmare, even more so actually than single player with all the players out there. I don't know why when I look around sometimes my FPS just drops into the 20s and I look another direction and it's 60 again. It really doesn't make sense. But actually, I've been saying a lot about FSR 3 and that if they added FSR 3 it would make the game so much easier to run. Well, there is actually something that you can do if you do have a 20 or 30 series card. You can download FSR 3 and then patch it into the game, so then when it says frame generation, it's not going to change the UI. You can just turn that on now and it will put FSR 3's frame generation. And I'm yet to try it out, but in my next video I will comment it down below. I am trying it shortly after the creation of this video and after it's all been uploaded and posted through. I'm going to do that and then I will report back my feedback, because I think, you know, it could be a really necessary thing. Don't really use it on multiplayer as anti-cheats tend to hate it, but Arc's anti-cheat has never been particularly good, so I think we're alright and it should be fine. Also, personally, I really like this mod because the Mosa, and I know there's also Tylosaurus as well. Did it say Mosasaurus earlier and now does it say Tylosaurus? Either way, I really like that one because the Mosa seems a little bit outdated to me. Having some nice hairstyles is always cool. Again, I'm so fascinated by people's imaginations and just how they're able to come up with all of these new mod ideas. It really just, it's so cool, because personally for me, I have no like modding experience on this level, and I know I've said it so many times, but they just look so good, and it's kind of a shame that most people's games don't really look like this, because this is it, just essentially just running on a supercomputer with some really high FPS and just truly running its best. And it's a shame that obviously we're not all getting this experience, because if the game just ran this smooth, no stutters whatsoever, and was just clean and consistent, it would really just be such a great dream game. But obviously not everyone is able to run it at like 4K. This is running at 4K, by the way. Not the video that I'm playing back, it will be a 1080p 60, but the originals on the Arc channel are in 4K, but when ASA first released they were in 1080p. Now they're in 4K, so maybe it even took them a bit to get up to scratch with actually getting these things. And actually their first trailer for ASA is in 30 FPS, so I don't really know what was going on there, but they have seemed to kind of fix that a little bit. And all these new mod demonstrations are 4K 60 FPS, but you're saying it's in 1080 obviously, because that's what I upload these videos in. Also, what do you think of the kind of modern furniture design in ASA? Because I'm always a fan of the primitive stuff in Arc, but if you know, maybe you had that in a tech base instead of maybe like a wooden base, that would really fit. Again, there are just so many cool new inventive ideas yourself. And also, I do want to ask, if there are any modders watching this video, like what kind of ideas are you thinking if you were going to mod an ASA? I know it's kind of a bit more of a niche thing, because I'm not even sure how many ASA modders out there are actually going to be watching this video, if any. They don't seem to be too many that I have met across whatsoever. But like, are you intending to mod anything to this game? And if you are, like, what are your thoughts? And even if you're not a modder actually, just comment down below, like, what do you think of all of these mods, and what mods would you want to see in the game? Because personally, that kitchen one kind of looks cool. I don't know though, it goes a little bit out of the Arc spectrum in terms of everything. I don't really mind it though, and you know, there could be some really cool features for that. You know, you get the steak on the grill, and you know, for all the football fans out there, you can always play some Arc football, which I think is with a little Dodicarus. Yes, it is. Honestly, that looks like some crazy fun with some friends. Definitely be up for it, if only you have friends. I do actually have friends. I know loads of people joke about like, oh yeah, I don't have friends. I actually might do that, but then the only issue is none of my friends have ASA, and none of my friends really have the consoles to run ASA, because no one that I'm really generally close to in terms of people that play up with me have the horsepower to run ASA, or even have ASA or the hardware that even supports ASA. But also, you look here, like this Mickey Mouse thing. Look again, like look how creative this is compared to just like normal ASA. Like, come on. Like, also not just normal ASA, just normal Arc as well. There's so much to play for, and just so much good content coming to ASA. And this is, I'm kind of looping back to the beginning now and closing everything off, because this is the last mod showcase of the video. We're kind of coming near to the end of it all, but it's really cool to see all of these new ideas, and like the ideas are so much bigger and bolder than they've ever been before. Like, so much more than ever before. They're just on so much of a larger scale, and the ideas are more crazy. That Mickey Mouse thing, actually, hadn't even seen it until like a minute ago, because I haven't really spent too much time looking through all of these, because I kind of wanted to react to them a little bit while just commentating my thoughts over it as well, because it gives me a better perspective of opinion. But like, that was really cool to me, and these ideas are so much bolder than any other Arc mod on ASE that I've ever seen. Again, it kind of makes me think, yeah, maybe mods should be paid, just considering how much effort seems to be going to these mods. But again, is it that more effort is being put in, or is it just because that Unreal Engine 5 is so much easier to mod in? Either way, that's why ASA modding is top tier, guys, and that is the only reason why I kind of like ASA. It's the only thing I like about ASA. But anyway, with that, I'll see you all later.